Hi, welcome to Analytical Media. We are a consortium, a group of therapists, college professors, and well-published, peer-reviewed authors. Today, we're going to talk about a first-person experience with gang stalking. This is a paper filed with the U.S. District Court for the Central District of Illinois, October 29th, 2025. This is 2 days from today's date. 2 days previous to today, this was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of Illinois. It is a suit filed against the NFL by a 38-year-old lifelong resident of Warren County, Illinois. He claims to be the serial victim of 34 years of extreme crimes, including daily torture and sexual abuse, multiple murder attempts which caused permanent brain spinal cord damage, use of weaponized mind control technology, collusion by local law enforcement, courts, and community members. He asserts he is the most head-injured surviving person. He also claims to be a prolific inventor. He's had 200 plus ideas shared in second grade. Formerly the best youth football player in his area, he is losing over $1 billion a year due to denied justice. And here is the core of his allegation. Over the past 5 years, every NFL and NCAA game he has watched, including Super Bowls and championships, contains millisecond accurate reenactments of highly unusual plays from his childhood pickup football games, all played without pads or helmets and played on concrete, oftentimes while he was severely injured. Here are the specific incidents from his youth: group head-kicking attacks, cheap shot tackles into concrete, head-to-head collisions while concussed or paralyzed, standing and taking punches. He believes these games were secretly recorded via video surveillance. Footage from his plays is being deliberately used to script professional NFL plays. This is part of a larger criminal conspiracy involving organized crime, game manipulation, human rights violations, mind control interrogation, and cover-ups by authorities. He goes on to claim over 15 years ago, while being cognitively impaired and being tortured, an ordinary citizen told him non-public details about a recent incident at NFL headquarters. Information, he says, proves foreknowledge and criminal involvement. And here's a quote: "Furthermore, I was informed of every major national news story over a 5-year period while I was cognitively impaired and being victimized over 15 years ago." He requests that the NFL immediately investigate the NFL and the NCAA security and legal teams. Also, access to original surveillance footage. He believes every, down to the millisecond, of his plays at pickup football games when he was a youth, that these have been recorded, videotaped, or filmed by the NFL, and he wants access to that footage. He wants direct contact with a federal or internal security official. And his fourth request is that this be recognized as a national security crisis. He has posted, along with this paper, a 1,000-page evidence package. It's in Microsoft Word doc format. He has also sent this to local police, Illinois State Police, the FBI, DOJ Criminal Division, New York State Police, and U.S. Supreme Court. This document is a complaint entitled Armstrong v. U.S. Federal Government et al. ETAL. The number for this complaint is 4:25 CV 4194, which was filed with the U.S. District Court for the Central District of Illinois. And again, the date is October 29th, 2025. 2 days ago this was filed. With an additional 1,000-page evidence package. And here's a letter that he's included as additional information. I treat this matter with the utmost seriousness, given the clear connection between the precise gameplay and the highly sensitive intelligence I possess regarding the NFL headquarters incident. And this incident he's referring to was the shooting that took place there recently. I urge you to treat this as an immediate crisis alert. I am prepared to speak with a designated federal or internal security official immediately. I have turned in sworn affidavits about my evidence to my local authorities, the Illinois State Police, the FBI, and the Department of Justice's Criminal Division. Sincerely. And then he signs his name. He also demands the NFL investigate the exact replication of his childhood injuries in pro games as evidence of a vast criminal network using surveillance, mind control, and sport manipulation to silence and exploit him. He is a self-described innocent genius victim, deserving the highest priority Supreme Court case in U.S. history. The incident at NFL headquarters that he is discussing, you may or may not remember, it ended up as a murder-suicide at NFL headquarters. This man claims to be gang-stalked. He says he's been tortured every day. Now, the core allegation is this. Over the past 5 years, every NFL and NCAA game he has watched, including Super Bowls and championships, contains millisecond accurate reenactments of highly unusual plays from his childhood pickup football games, often while severely injured. Now, what do you think? You think this is accurate? You think this man is telling the truth? Do you think this man may be delusional? Why do you think the NFL would rely on this man's football plays to orchestrate Super Bowls? Studying this man's football plays from the time he was a child and recording all of it everywhere, every second, every millisecond, becomes the basis of Super Bowls in every NFL and NCAA game? Do you think that's possible? And since this man is the only one who is good enough, who truly understands football, he's the only one qualified, this man most certainly has a very high opinion of himself. He thinks the NFL needs his plays. He describes himself as a genius, a prolific inventor since second grade. Also was the best youth football player in his area. And he believes he's important enough that the NFL orchestrates its games around him and his past plays. And the footage is being used deliberately to script professional plays. That's the NFL. He claims this is part of a larger criminal conspiracy involving organized crime, game manipulation, human rights violations, mind control interrogation, and cover-up by authorities. Interestingly, as part of his allegations, his evidence, he says, furthermore, I was informed of every major national news story over a 5-year period. Now, we don't know who informed him of the news stories, but he says during that 5-year period, he was cognitively impaired and being victimized over 15 years. So he admits he was cognitively impaired, having trouble thinking. Delusions of grandeur are part of mania, bipolar disorder, the manic part of bipolar. Some people believe that bipolar means sometimes you're normal and the other times you're depressed. Then you come back to normal and then you become depressed. But that's not what bipolar is. Bipolar is, I'm depressed and then I move into mania, delusions of grandeur, very narcissistic. You believe you can do everything better, everything. You can think better than other people, than the world, than the geniuses, the recognized geniuses, the quantum physicists. You know, that's part of the mania. You have a great deal of energy during that period of time, sleep very little. This man makes extraordinary claims. And as Carl Sagan said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. There are many things that make this man's story unlike gang stalking. The one similarity they have is mind control interrogation. Mind control of some kind. Some type of weaponry, unknown, high technology things that has voice to skull technology, mind control technology. That's a similarity. But other than that, I don't know any well-known cases of gang stalking where the person being gang stalked believes they are one of the smartest people in the world, or that they have some extraordinary abilities or powers, or they would describe themselves as geniuses. I don't know of that. I'm not familiar with that, and I'm well familiar with gang stalking. You have to make up your own mind. Do you think this could be real? But recognize, if you believe you're being gang stalked, do you also believe that you are one of the few people in the world who could do certain things? Do you believe that you're a genius? Do you believe that NFL games are based on the plays that occurred to you when you played pickup games of football? That the NFL is so weak in its understanding of football that it has to script its games around your behavior when you were 12 or 10 or 14. Does this sound outlandish to you? If it does, comment on this. I've given you all the information you need to look this up for yourself. It was just filed 2 days ago. The name of the individual, of course, is in the filing. It's in the papers filed with the court of Illinois. If you need proof that this is true, look it up. If you want to take our word for it, that's fine. Because, believe me, we are not offended in the least if you want to check this for yourself. I gave you all the information. This was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of Illinois, October 29th, 2025. I gave you the number of the filing. It's entitled Armstrong v. U.S. Federal Government et al. Or et al. 4:25 CV 4194, filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of Illinois. This is Analytical Media. I hope we've brought you some other insight into someone who believes they are being gang stalked. Do you believe it? Recognize if you don't believe this man is being gang stalked, it doesn't mean that you don't believe in gang stalking. You may believe gang stalking is quite possible. However, this man's claim is not. You can make your decision. It's not consistent with what we understand or know at Analytical Media. It is much more consistent with delusional beliefs and behavior, specifically manic behavior. However, that's all we can say. We cannot prove this is mental illness of some kind. We certainly can't do that. But this man's going to have to come up with some evidence and some proof, or no one's going to take him seriously. He'll be instantly denied. He's made extreme claims, and he needs some extreme evidence to support that. Having said that, give us your opinion, put it in the comments. I hope we've brought you some additional insight into the whole nature of gang stalking, what some people claim, what some authorities have to deal with. When someone comes to them, this judge is going to have to deal with this. We'll let you know if this gets rejected. We'll let you know the progress of this case as it goes on. It's only 2 days old at this point in time. So please like this. Please subscribe. Please pass it on to people you think might be interested in this topic. And recognize we are bringing you research directly from the court system of the United States of America, specifically in this case, Illinois, the state of Illinois. I don't know that anyone else on YouTube will do this ever. We've brought this to you 2 days after it was filed. And this is a deep look into gang stalking. Okay, hope to see you on the next video. This is Analytical Media. Like, subscribe. Please take care and hopefully join us in our next video.